this is part 6 of my Bible study where I go through every single book of the Bible and give a rough summary of what each one is about. And today we are going Joshua. So in Joshua, it's mainly, there's like a lot of war going on, and the second generation of Israelites is conquering the promised land. They're seizing the promised land that God has promised them. And they're seizing it because the first generation couldn't seize it because they were like very sinful, and God had to kill off the first generation. So now here comes the second generation. So a guy named Joshua is now like in charge of the second generation of Israelites that like he took after Moses, because Moses was part of the first generation and Moses had to die. And when he did, Joshua now leads the group of Israelites, and they cross the Jordan River to seize the promised land. Joshua actually foreshadows Jesus in the beginning, and something I actually would like to add is that the first 5 books of the Bible, they represent and show our spiritual journey. For example, many of us spend our lives wandering through the wilderness. We remain in our old ways, we remain in our sin, and we're never allowed to experience the promised land because we keep sinning and we don't bring it to God and we don't trust in God. But a handful of us, a small group of people, they have complete faith in Jesus, they follow him, repent, they will seize the promised land and they will get to experience God what God has for them. So that's something I realized reading the first 5 books, is that it can represent 2 different types of spiritual journeys. It can represent a journey where you stay in your sin and you don't turn to God, or 2, when you trust in God and put your faith in him even in hard times, and you will get to see the promised land God has for us. So pretty much the book of Joshua is all about reminding us of God's faithfulness and that we need to be faithful to him. Thanks for reading with me. I hope that you learned something from the book of Joshua, and have a good day.